me tell you about my start with AdSense. June 2003, the AdSense program launched. I'm still in the hole trying to dig my way out, and I hear about this new thing that people are using to make money. So I applied, and by the way, we are going to, in a little bit, actually have someone apply live for an AdSense account. So I'm gonna need a guinea pig, somebody who's got a website already but doesn't have AdSense. I applied, and as long as you meet their criteria, which no adult content, I know that rules everybody out, okay. No gambling, no tobacco, no alcohol, no hate speech. You can't be teaching kids how to make bombs, you know, that type of thing. Then they're going to approve you. And as long as your website doesn't look like, you know, a third grader. Well, actually, there's some pretty smart third graders, so I don't want to get down to third graders. As long as it looks like a site, you get approved. I put the code on my site, and you can see, boy, I put that code on, and I thought I'm going to make a ton. Woo! Maybe not. Very, very disappointing after the hype I heard. So I went back to the drawing board. I thought, well, maybe I'll put it on a few more sites and see what happens. My income got up to $20, $25 a day. I thought, wow, if I could really figure this thing out, if I could really harness this, I think there could be money in it. But at this time, I put it by the wayside, and I thought, I'm not figuring it out. Sitting in a conference room on April 22nd, 2004, a lot like this. I was an attendee, is a mastermind group that I'm in, which, by the way, if you're not in a mastermind group with your peers, with other people that you can network with and learn from, you're missing out on one of the most incredible resources known to internet man and womankind. Find a mastermind group. Get plugged in. Being in that mastermind group transformed my business model, because sitting in that room, I was sitting next to one of the other attendees, and we were talking about AdSense, and he said, hey, why don't you try this? You know, Google lets you change things. They let you decide where to put it on the page. They let you decide which ad block size to use. They let you decide what colors to use. They give you a lot of power. Why don't you try this on your page? So I did some testing, made some changes. Wednesday, April 21st, I made $22.48. Sitting in that conference room making those changes that day, my revenue shot up to $85.58. Towards the end of the day, I raised my hand. I'm in the back of the room. I said, guys, you are not going to believe this. And I told everybody what I was making. Everybody got up and turned around and gave me a hand. Thank you very much. So I started testing more and more, moving the blocks around, figuring out, okay, if this size does best here, then what size is going to do best here? And Google lets me put up to 3 blocks on a page. Should I put all 3 or do I do 1? What color is going to get the most clicks? Which ad block size? Lots of different parameters. And I took notes, and I made changes, and I looked at the results, and you could see the revenue stream creeping up. The day I made $171 doing nothing, I thought, oh, that's it. I've arrived. I've found the goose that lays the golden egg. But I hadn't seen anything yet. Nothing. More testing. 1 month later, monthly revenue is topping $200. I believe I had a couple days in there over $300. Okay, I know you're sitting down, so I won't ask you if you're sitting down. Passive income. No matter what I'm doing. If I'm working, if I'm having dinner with my family, if I'm standing here right now, if I'm sleeping, around the clock, this is the type of revenue that can be made with Google AdSense. I took a snapshot of just after this, and this is not quite a full month. I don't know if you could see those numbers or not. If not, I'll help you. $1,042.85, $922, $762 from November 20th through December 15th, $22,747. $22,747. I topped over 26 grand for the month, and I didn't do a thing. This was, that's a good, what the question was is how many websites is that? And that's only half the question. I have several sites, which I've showed you, worldvillage.com, dealofday.com. Those are my most popular ones. But I know some people that are making more than that with one site. So there's several factors that work together to determine how much you can make with AdSense. And I'll touch on them briefly now and more later. They are the number of pages that you have on your site, the quality of your search engine optimization, where you appear in Google when somebody types in your keyword, and the value of the keywords that trigger the ads on your site. If you've got 10,000 pages and it's all about ideas for making crafts at home, then you're not going to make nearly as much as if you have the same amount of pages that deal with, say, copywriting. Because people are going to bid much higher on learning about information to be a good copywriter than they will to create crafts at home. Am I right or am I right? I'm right. Is that a happy guy? It says, welcome to the Fedex Club, and I'm holding a UPS envelope. I know, it's confusing. Initially, when you broke the $10,000 a month barrier, Google had what they called unofficially the Fedex Club. It was really not coined by Google. The phrase was coined by people who were getting a FedEx. Instead of sending you a check via a U.S. Postal Service that would arrive several days after the end of the month, Google would overnight a check for those people who made the big bucks. And then they stopped using FedEx and they started using UPS. So I got the photo that month with the UPS envelope. Then they stopped using UPS and they went to DHL. So I got a DHL envelope for a couple months. Then they went to direct deposit. So if you still want to get a DHL for your check, it'll cost you $25 a month to have the guy show up on your front step and say, you know, here's your check from Mountain View, California, from Google. Personally, I prefer the direct deposit. It gets put in my account. They don't really tell you. They don't say, your check has arrived. You go, you look in your account, all of a sudden one day, oh, look at that, 5 figures in my account. That's great. Thank you, Google. I love you very much.